Hello everyone and welcome. We are here tonight live at Formula Racing League TV for a very special edition of Late Night Thursday. It's brought to you live by myself, Gogs Brown. I will be in the comms box this evening bringing you all the action as we enter. Well, this is qualifying. We're halfway through qualifying. We're a little bit late starting this evening. We have 21 drivers in the lobby this evening. Some mix of pro and silver drivers. We're watching Jay Wazzer in his big old Bentley barge cross the line, and he sets a provisional pole time of a 1:46.255. On the left hand side of the screen you'll see the driver track list. All the white background number plates denote a Tier 1 driver, with the silver denoting Tier 2. However, all drivers are free to race, as they should be, as they compete for the overall championship. Track conditions this evening do look a little bit mixed, as Llewellyn and Vaux set a time on the board in the final dying embers of qualifying. Jack Prentice in the Ferrari. That's Luke Prentice, my apologies, goes into P3, and Josh Clayton in the Aston Martin sets himself a good lap time. Carl Sween in the McLaren. Next to come across the line, it looks like. What time does he do? What can the American do? He is about to start a lap. No, he's not. He's about to go provisionally on pole position. Oh no, what's happened? Looks like a big disconnection there, but seems to have settled itself down now. Tulloch in that metallic sky blue Mustang looks very nice indeed. Comes round the final corner now. Plants his right foot to the floor, and now he accelerates through the gears. Keep it over to the right hand side. You can see the drying line. A P9 as he goes invalid. No, he doesn't. He goes P11. The Mustang not working the best in these mixed conditions. Jack Prentice goes up into P10. Some drivers not able to set a valid lap time in qualifying. Their starting position will be indeed in the hands of the sim racing gods. Gerbino, the newest addition to the Formula Racing League admin team. I'm sure he'll be looking to impress in the Italian liveried Lamborghini this evening. He goes into P13, that's fourth over in class. Couple of cars yet to set a time. Guzman Garcia is going to be the last person out there on the track. Just in front of him we have a McLaren as well. That looks like Campos. And Guzman Garcia with an incredible lap time, up into fourth place for the race. So, a quick rundown the qualifying order for this evening. Carl Sween is indeed on provisional pole position. Luke Prentice in second. Jay Wazzer in the Lamborghini in third place, with Guzman Garcia in fourth. John Bonham not able to quite wrestle the McLaren up to the heights he's used to being. Qualifies in fifth. Campos takes a class pole position, sixth overall, sixth place. Sharp takes P7, not quite as high standards as we expect to see, but again he seems to be glued to Bonham throughout this championship. Harvey's in P8 with Clayton in ninth, the two Astons back to back. Jack King, fastest first sector of anybody. Those damp conditions do favour the Mercedes. Zuckowitz in P11, Jack Prentice 12th, and Keller is in P3 in class, 13th overall. Those three, Campos, King and Keller, have been inseparable in Tier 2 this season. Vaux in P14, Gerbino 15th, Tulloch 16th. Llewellyn rounds off all the drivers who did set a time. Burrows is will start the grid on 18th place, Ribes in P19, Handley in 20th, and Francis rounds off the grid. So that will be the grid for this evening. We're here tonight, a little bit of an introduction, a bit of an unannounced commentary session we have this evening. We're here at Imola for round 7 of the late night Thursday championship. We have 2 more rounds to go. Next up, we go to... I've actually forgotten exactly what is up next. How embarrassing. Round 8. Where is round 8? I'm sure it'll come back to me. In round 9 we finish off at Suzuka. It will definitely come back eventually. But this is a very special edition tonight, as we will be broadcasting for the first time this season, Late Night Thursday live. Going on with the cars there as the server just sets himself up. If we look on the right hand side, we'll see that the race will take place in game 4 hours later, and we have got a very wet looking track, but it's going to dry out progressively as the race goes on. Now we do have the conditions are expected to dry out. Now Zukowicz is having a bit of a problem, it looks like, with his connection. Has he gone? He's been disconnected. No, he's not. He's in P11 now. Some strange goings on with the server this evening. Hopefully this ends shortly and we can get some good racing underway. Looks like the server's now stabilised. So as you can see, it's a very, very, very wet Imola this evening. I believe it is real to life. It is very wet in that part of the world just now. We have a short formation lap, so we won't be going around the full track. The drivers will be getting us underway very quickly. We do have a late joiner, it looks like, there at the back of the grid. That's the 179 Lamborghini Keller. Keller was disconnected. He was in 3rd place. That promotes Gerbino up into 3rd place on at least his tier anyway. So tonight we have 1 mandatory pit stop where the drivers will have to pit. They will have to put fuel in the car. That will take them 25 seconds. Now it's up to them if they want to change tyres. I imagine, given the rain forecast, or rather the weather forecast, with the rain due to finish somewhere between the next 0 and 10 minutes, they will want to change tyres. It's just going to be a matter of timing as the track goes from wet to damp to greasy and finally to dry. When do the drivers elect to make that pit stop? Only time will tell. It's going to be very, very exciting. Do not go anywhere or you'll miss out on the action this evening.
Seconds.
30 seconds to go. You have to really feel for Keller. He's had nothing but bad luck there. Disconnected. I'm going to quickly try and run to get a quick drink. Do not go anywhere.
10 seconds.
As we just wait for the leaders now to get us underway. So Sween is going to lead us off at the front in the white McLaren with Luke Prentice alongside Wazer's looking very threatening in that Bentley with Garcia in P4. As the drivers now join the main starting straight. Relatively small grid this evening, the weather putting some drivers off it looks like, however we are ready to go racing. Prentice in the red Ferrari, Sween in the McLaren, who is going to lead into this very wet turn 1. The spray is going to be absolutely horrific for those at the back, but we are waiting the green flag as the tension rises here at Imola for the start of round 7. And we are green, we are racing underway. It's a great start by Carl Sween, and look at Bentley, the Bentley driver of Water. He's up the inside, cars on the grass at the background there. Out they all look to get through relatively okay. Garcia's had an incredible start. Bonham has moved up into P4. It's a good start from the American. As the helicopter now picks up the driver's little bit of contact between Gerbino and looks like Zukowicz there at the back of the grid. But everyone looks to have got through relatively okay. Gerbino is out of line there, as is Burrows and Handley having a battle there at the background. But up front it is Carl Sween. Jay Wazer's up now into P2. There he is as they come over the crest and into this left sweeping adverse camber corner. Prentice still holds on to third with Bonham on his rear. We've seen these two battle in the past. We've got a car off at the back. That is Ribes. Ribes is certainly going to have his work cut out from there this evening. Hello Retro in the chat, thank you very much for joining me. My colleague, the Sunday team there, jumping in the YouTube chat, thanks very much. Hope you enjoy the action and this convinces you to take part next week on Thursday. So as they come down now into Toza for the first time, it looks there Sharp and Campos battling hard. No incidents there. There's going to be an incident. This is where it's going to be, and Handley nearly collected by Burrows in the BMW at the back, but no contact, and a very clean first lap at a very sodden Imola. So the pit window is now open. Drivers can choose to come into the pits, and the track is already beginning to dry out. You can almost see a dry line now appearing, but as you look at the spray behind that Bentley, it is indeed very still wet indeed. Now Prentice will look to jump to the pits. That's not a good sign for his connection this evening. Hopefully that lasts and we can keep racing. Campos looks to have got himself ahead of Vo in the Aston. This has been down into turn 3, I think, into Villeneuve chicane. It's a very tightly packed second half of the grid. Look at this, they're all over the track trying to find the dry line. They come on board the BMW of Burrows as they come around. I'm going to have to find out the names of the song of this corner. Right now that is the 505 game corner. I believe this is Aqua Minerale though, I know this one. This is actually one of the trickiest corners in all of sim racing, all of racing to be honest. There's so much going on in such a short space of time. It's so hard to have the precision and the ability to get round there with speed. And the Mercedes nearly locks up. That is Handley. Jake Handley and the Mercedes struggling get the car slowed down as they come now into Toza, and we've got there that Sharp's went down the grid. What's happened to Sharp? Sharp is just overtaken by Gerbino, who's had a cracking start of the race, or Sharp's had an incident maybe. Much more likely he's fell down a couple of positions from his starting grid position now. But look here, there's still action going on. Back from Gerbino, Sharp pulls out to the side, and the Lamborghini does have very good brakes. It'll be hard to outbrake a Lamborghini into turn 1 here, especially in these conditions. A little bit further back, these two, Hanley and Burrows, are putting on a show as Hanley all over the exit curb, asking everything of those rear Pirellis. I do wonder if they're on wets or dries. With the rain has now stopped, and the track is now going to begin to dry up. Now, if they're still on wets, those tyres are going to completely eat themselves up. And if they're on dries, well, those tyres, those guys on dries are now going to come slowly into their own as the track comes towards them. It dries up. More temperature gets in the tyres, it makes the tyres a little bit stickier. You drive faster down the track, you clear more water, it's a compound effect, it only helps. So if, oh, big crash at the back there, who is that? That's a Mustang, that's Tulloch in the wars. He goes straight on. Bouncing over the grass there, what's happened there? Tulloch, and there's the Mercedes of Handley. Who else is involved there? That's Francis as well. We've seen Francis. That two Mustangs there looked like they were in a massive incident at the back off the grid, but that's going to bring Ribes maybe a little bit closer to the battle. Car 13 as well, that's Llewellyn. Llewellyn involved in an incident as well. He's jumping into the pits now, so we're going to have some drivers take this opportunity to fix the damage and maybe put on some dry tyres early in the hope that they can recover some of that race. And a little bit close up the front here, that's Burrows. Tulloch gets past Burrows, and just behind Keller has now joined this battle as well. Amazing action at the back of the field for this race. All 21 drivers still in the race. And I know there's been a small incident there, but as you can see, it's a great piece of driving from all to still be continuing. You can still see some spots there on his windshield. I do wonder if that's just spray. It looks like the rain has went off, but another spanner in the works this evening. Imola always throws up an incredible race. And then you look to your top right off the screen, you'll see the weather forecast in the next 30 minutes is due for another sprinkle. So this track is going to get drier and drier, and just when the tyres are worn and about to give up, it's going to downpour again. Absolutely brilliant. The kind of action you only get here at Formula Racing League, sim racing at its very best. So let's have a quick run down the order then while it's still a little bit settled. Carl Sween looking dominant out in front, 4 laps now completed. Starts his 5th lap, 3 seconds ahead of Jay Wazzer with Harvey. Harvey is up at the P3 as Luke Prentice and Garcia both elect to go for the pit stop now. Maybe they think the track will dry out and they'll be able to keep the dries going in the wet conditions. Only time will tell. Do not go anywhere, this is going to get incredible. So Harvey and Bonner move up to 3rd and 4th. Clayton's 5th on track of Zukowicz in P6. King leads off tier 2 of Gerbino. Just been overtaken by Sharp. We've missed that one there on screen now. This is potentially a move here. Gerbino and Rowe battling into the Villeneuve chicane as they come into Tora. It looks like Burrows and Hanley are glued to each other as Hanley gets a full-on Tokyo drift out the exit of the Villeneuve chicane. He's got the inside into Toza. Burrows tries to hang it round the outside, round the outside, round the outside, and they're now almost reaching at the window, shaking hands as they come through the corner that I keep forgetting the name of, and some very loose interpretation of track limits as they come now into Aqua Minerale, almost side by side. We've got yellow flags up ahead. That is for Llewellyn, who's now in the pits. Jack Prentice rejoins at the back, as does Luke Prentice and Garcia. Well, here they are here. This is Garcia and Prentice. They're side by side. This is the Villeneuve chicane. This is for position. And Garcia has to pull out. Yes, Prentice makes a great move down the inside. Complete the move. So Prentice still in a net 3rd, it looks like. Now Bonham and Harvey Still with the windscreen wipers on, obviously still wet enough to do so. You will have to excuse me this evening, I will be going quiet every now and then as my voice adjusts. Burrows takes to the pits, as does Francis. As the tyres begin to squeal no more, the blue and pink Ferrari of Ribes, however, continues on. Bonham nearly jumped down the inside there, nearly snuck down, it looks here. Like Gerbino has jumped into the pits as well. As Vo and Campos are now released. We'll see what pace those guys have, and nearly contact into Toza as the helicopter picks him up, and Vo gets a huge bit of oversteer, a little bit too eager, and you can really see that dry line now appearing on the track. The grip that is going to give compared to the rest of the track is going to be, oh my goodness, what's happened there? Aqua Minerale has seen Harvey concede position to Bonham. Now we missed what happened, we don't know if there was contact there, we just missed that one. As both cars, that Aston Martin straight over those curves with no regard to the suspension of the car. 6, 7, 8, that's Jack Prentice now jumps in the pits again. What's happened there? Why did he jump back in the pits? He's maybe put on the wrong tyres, oh no. He's going to end up a lap down now. He's maybe put on the wrong tyres. Clayton moves over to the dark side of the track. Now that implies to me that man is on wet tyres. As Bonham takes the lead as the car's coming out of the pits. Now he didn't need to give way there. He's coming out of the pits. He's entitled to that room in the pit lane. And Vo jumps in the pits, as does Hanley, who's a little bit hot there coming in. Hopefully it doesn't cause himself too much of an issue. Prentice coming in, Aqua Minerale now as Guzman Garcia overshoots the apex wildly, and again with a very interesting interpretation of track limits. Great driving from Harvey. Hello Chris, welcome to the chat. Why am I doing calm and why is this dry? Well, the forecast was to be very wet and I had done no practice, so I thought I'm going to do calms. And then it turns out that it's dry. Very disappointing indeed. It's not dry, it's still a bit greasy. So we're watching a very greasy performance from Bonham, and Carl Sween dominant there in P8. Rejoins in P8. So Wazer's coming at the pits now. He's several seconds behind the leader now. Sween's jumped up, it looks like. And he's just kept position from Luke Prentice, who just joins the rear off shot there in the red Ferrari. As you can see behind. This is the shot from Bonham. Let's have a little look further behind though, because Harvey and Clayton, both in Aston Martins, both go for the pits and they need to be careful. Oh, Clayton a little bit hot into the pits. He's definitely made it some time. Bonham just in front of these guys as well. So the question now remains, Carl Sween, what can you do? Jay Wazer, what can you do? Have these guys done enough by pitting early? And let's remember, we still have that potential final sprinkling of rain in the final 30 seconds of tonight's race. 30 minutes from now, the forecast is scheduled to give us a bit more rain, so this dry track could become wet again. Carl Sween's connection doesn't look the best. Jumping back and from the pits. He's still there, he's still there. Speaking of still there though, look at the gap now as Wazer's tyres begin to come into the operating window. Sween's already spicy tyres have given him a slight advantage. So Sween goes through ahead of Campos, as does Wazer. But where are they in relation to Bonham? There's Bonham coming at the pits now. He's right on that white line. Here comes... oh, they're 3 wide. And Bonham's going to hang around the outside. He's on the wet. He's off track. He's going to have to concede that position. He gets a little bit sideways, and Prentice is going to think about it now as well. Sweet Bonham's boxed in. Prentice on the wet part of the track. And it's a great move there by Prentice, keeping the car under control. Exciting stuff here with 30 minutes of this battle still to go. Bonham's aggressively trying to find his way past. He knows he has more pace in that McLaren. More pace in that McLaren. He certainly looks like he has at this point of the race. But Sween still well ahead. Wazer's got a little bit out of shape there into Aqua Minerale. He needs to just get his head on. He's run a little bit wide again. The Bentley will make short use of those curbs, but he's given up the inside now to Prentice, who goes down the inside into the second chicane. He's got down the inside now. Can Wazer bring it back round? The Ferrari not good over the curbs, but this has now opened the door for Bonham. Bonham is right on the left rear quarter panel off the Bentley. The Bentley speed looks to keep him up, and again Bonham on the wet. It could only end in tears. And almost contact there. Rubbing is racing, and Bonham has managed to keep himself still in the hunt. But look at that, there was a contact there. Was there contact as Wazer sent spiralling off the track into the wall? Was it oversteer? Was the Bentley's power and grunt a little bit too much? Or was there contact between the two? The steward's room will find that one out, I'm pretty sure, within the next 24 hours. But the net result of that just now, at least provisionally anyway, is Bonham moves up into a net third place, with Prentice in the net second. Clayton still hanging on the back of Harvey. Clayton did not get the job done in the pit lane. I think they all definitely did change tyres. They'd be foolish of them not to, but here's a good battle here. Here we have Garcia being pressured by the relentless Jack King. Now, King last week, out of nowhere, decided that he was going to become a Rainmaster and put that big cumbersome purple German engineered car on pole position in Indianapolis. Now, similar conditions this evening, and again he's running very well. He looks to have a lot of pace. He's leading the AM class with Gerbino and Campos hot on his heels. What happened there? King's connection again doesn't look too hot, but it doesn't look too sharp. And just behind this lot, we've got the Aston Martin of Vaux and the Lamborghini, the very nice coloured livery of Formula Racing League's newest admin. Congratulations, Serafino Gerbino, and welcome to the team. Will of course be a bit of a stranger to having his name called out. Oh, Server, where are you? Come back to us. Server's not looking particularly great. It's trying to throw us another curveball this evening. But indeed, the Lamborghini's top end speed not enough to keep it in touch with the pink Aston of Vaux. On the brakes, that Lamborghini really is a stopping machine. We're still at front, holding a commanding position now, is Carl Sween in the white McLaren. Let's just jump on board with him for a lap or two. Let's see what he does around this track, what makes him so quick. I'm sure many of the drivers in our other series, the Super Sprint Sunday, which again my colleague Retro, who popped up in the chat earlier on, will be presenting with his colleague, the Mustafa, on Sunday from 7:45 PM around this very same track. It does look to be a little bit drier than, thankfully, for those guys racing on Sunday. I'll be there too. I'll be in the big old Bentley. Don't miss that one. Tune in Formula Racing League TV, that's at FRL Race Hub on YouTube, 7:45 on Sunday. The Sween there starts his lap now. Let's stick with him for a full lap here. Let's watch the leader with his brake just at the edge of the escape road for turn 1, right over those sausage curbs on turn 1, not so much on turn 2, just got the apex on turn 3. Absolutely beautiful. So we're the deal now chicane. Leaves a lot on the table for the first apex, so you can fully maximise and straighten the exit of the deal now chicane into Toza. It's a mid to late apex. The corner slightly tightens as you get around it, and the McLaren likes to dance on throttle. Up the hill now in 2. Again, the corner I keep forgetting, we're going to call it the 505 Games corner on this occasion. This one we do know Aquaman in the rally, brake about 50 metres out, balance the car. Yep, he does everything right. So much going on through that corner, it does take a lot of skill to get it right as consistently as the American management. On the second chicane, he doesn't take a lot of that first car, but he does take a giant bite out the second and make sure he keeps himself within track limits on the exit. Under the silly banner there above us into Ravazza? I guess we'll find out. Somebody will correct me, I'm pretty sure. Ravazza 1 and 2. Paul's going to start from the straight that is not a straight. This probably isn't straight. And across the line. So interestingly, Bonham is now taking the fastest lap of the race as he tries to jump into the rear wing and the back seat of Luke Prentice's Ferrari in the hope that they can be an American and a McLaren 1-2 this evening. Ribby is still out there on that pit stop. He is going to be hoping for that wet tyre, that rain that's forecast to eventually come. It's not coming in the next 10 minutes, it's going to come some point in the next 30, and it's going to come. The thing is, we only have 23 minutes of the race remaining, so maybe that strategy not quite working out the way he intended. Now, King has found himself now in front of Guzman Garcia. We maybe missed that when we were looking at the on-board laps. So King's got himself in front of that red Porsche, and he's fallen back actually into the clutches of Rowe and Gerbino. And Gerbino nearly collects the back off that Aston. It's not looking very good out there. He's sideways, he smashes into the Audi Sport banner. That's what he thinks of Audi cars, but it is the Audi owned Lamborghini actually who dances through in front of him up into P12. Good run out there for Gerbino. He's been judged this evening, as we all know. And here comes Campos, flashing his lights, desperate not to lose any more time in his battle. He's up the inside of Aquaman Valley. Incredible move from the McLaren. Pink on pink there. But it is indeed Campos who's made that move. Officially now, the track conditions have been categorised as a dry track. It is a green track. And now we're on board with Mr. Bonham. If he's pressuring that Ferrari, the speed difference as they fly through there. As they're side by side in a squeeze. And runs them out wide. Now again, that one looks potentially spicy. Clayton has joined the back off this battle. He's lost Harvey a little bit. Harvey's dropped off this battle now. So that was a good bit of defensive driving there by Luke Prentice. Very hard, very firm, but I think on the limit within the rules set out. Didn't see anything wrong with it. However, it did look like a very, very aggressive move, but it looked clean. As we still have 21 minutes remaining. The leader still to pit, Alex Ribes in the Ferrari. He'll be counting on that rain shower coming in the dying minutes. He can jump into the pits and get those wet tyres on. That will maybe benefit him to jump and recover his race after a crash on lap 1. Now he's coming onto the start straight now. Does he jump in the pits now? Surely not. It looks like he's jumped into the pits now, so that one's now not going to happen. As the cars here, Bonham gets very out of shape coming through that chicane. Now that Aston Martin is an absolute beast in a straight line, one of the fastest cars in a straight line in this. We're going to call it a simulation. The thing is, can he use that grunt to get himself in front of the American? And we can see the difference there as Bonham tries to go left to keep it, but he's got his axle alongside, so he's got the inside line. As Clayton, what an incredible move actually from Josh Clayton. Clayton's got himself in front of Harvey, and he jumps down the inside of Tamburillo, and it is a clean, crisp move by Clayton. Great move, great stuff from the Aston driver, but it's not over yet because Bonham's all over his rear end. Bonham now fancies a seat in the back of the Aston. There's definitely more room in the Aston than there is in the Ferrari's back seat, but we'll see what happens there. Now Ribby is still in the pit lane and Burrows is just about to overtake him on the exit, so he's rejoined in P16 behind Burrows. So good pace from Ribby. He's definitely going to find himself making some moves there. So this is now the positions on the left hand side after all the pit stops. This is now up to date. We've got Carl Sween, who leads 12 seconds, almost 13 seconds to Luke Prentice, and this is the battle we're watching here. Luke Prentice in that red Ferrari at the front. Then we have Josh Clayton in the Aston Martin, and we've seen just put the moves on Bonham. And then in P4, Harvey with the fastest lap in P5, and Zukowicz just on the back of these guys now. But if we just have a little look, very close on this occasion. We know the Ferrari is not the fastest car in a straight line. Look at the straight line differential. Prentice forces Clayton to the outside of turn 1. But I think this one might be done before they hit the braking zone. The Ferrari tries to keep it clean, and there's almost contact between those two, and also Bonham and Harvey in the background, nearly coming together into turn 1 as well. But Clayton now up into a net P2. Great performance from the Aston driver. We'll see, this one's definitely not over. Well, a little bit further back, Giordano's now up into P11. With second place in silver, and King leads the silver class just in front. A couple of seconds separate those guys. Campos in P3. And Taylor's Road just behind there. There's Keller in 14th after that disconnection post-qualifying. That was unfortunate, of course. Hi Luke, thanks for joining us in the chat. It was great driving indeed by Clayton as Prentice gets very liberal with the term track limits on the exit of Aqua Minerale. On board now with the Ferrari driver, he takes a lot of that sausage curb coming over that chicane. Rain is coming, guys. The rain is coming. That is the message from the forecasters. Do not go anywhere, but this is going to spice up in the last couple of minutes. That is an absolute certainty. Look backwards. Oh, yeah, Luke Prentice isn't looking the sharpest. It does have to be said. Speaking of sharp, he's still running in the race. He's in P8, a solid position. With the slipstream there, the slipstream effect on Bonham. He's going to think about it into turn 1. Doesn't do it on this occasion, but as he get close enough, that McLaren did a huge amount of sausage there in turn 2. Maybe he's running the front end a little bit stiffer than those around him. Wazer now sets the fastest lap off the race. They're in P7. So interesting to see the pace move about between the top 7. He's now pulled that a little bit from Sharp. So this top 8 here, this group of 8 cars, Sweden's out on his own. That is done. He just needs to keep it steady and then time his final pit stop right. But look how close Bonham is here to the back of Prentice. This could be potentially a move into Aqua Minerale. Nothing doing on this occasion. He almost pushes them up the hill as they go towards the chicane now. Now Prentice, being Prentice, I know racing well, will not give Bonham the inside into that chicane. You'll make sure as both cars again are very hungry for those yellow painted curbs. As Prentice moves over to block the inside, defends that line. He's chosen his line as they come now into Toza. It's not Toza, it's something. It's a move. It's side by side, argy bargy. There'll be some green paint on the side of that Ferrari and some red paint on the side of that McLaren. They're still in the slipstreams now. The action is spicing up here as we enter the final 15 minutes of round 7 here at Imola Formula Racing League. Sim racing at its very best, and Bonham tries to throw him the dummy, but Prentice holds the middle of the track. Now this is holding both wheels up. Prentice goes over that side of the curb, he's gone sideways. He's held the car, he's rejoined, and he pushes Clayton out to the outside of the track, and there's contact. Zukowicz and Prentice side by side there, coming out of the first corner, and now that's Wazzer. His back end's hit the grass on the way into Toza, and now he's hit the back of Luke Prentice. Luke Prentice has went down from P2 down to P6 in a matter of corners. Another driver going down the grid is Guzman Garcia, who's lost the rear. Now that looked a very strange place to go off there, on the inside on the way into Villeneuve, so maybe that one will need to be reviewed as well. Campos, though he was running around about those guys don't appear to have any damage, so maybe he went off on his own. That remains to be seen. Bonham runs wide on the exit of that chicane. Now that's opened the door for Harvey. Now Clayton's danced down the road, not been involved in this battle of course, as they come into Ravazza 1. And that's a defence, and Zukowicz is getting very racy. Look at this. Look at this as they come onto the start-finish straight, and this should be interesting. And it is Zukowicz who gets the cleaner exit out of that corner. And we're now here for round 2. Now that BMW is no slouch in a straight line. He's going to fly, and Prentice tries to throw the dummy, shows his nose up the inside. Doesn't put Harvey off, but he's certainly gotten a lot closer on this occasion. Now Clayton's coming up to the back of Jack Prentice. He moves out of the way, takes the outside line round Toza and lets him through very cleanly. Good piece of driving there from Jack Prentice. Allows the cars through that he isn't battling with on the track. Well, next to come round here we have Bonham, who has now stretched his legs a little bit from Zukowicz. So it looks like, it says a second there, it's potentially 2 seconds maybe. And this is the battle we've been watching all race, as Prentice again tries to show his nose down the inside. That was very, very spicy there. As he comes out of this Aquaman Rally up the hill one more time. Doing again on this occasion, they're both cars munching those curbs like they've not eaten in days. So here's an interesting battle now heating up. This is for second and third place in the silver tier, or the tier 2. Of course all drivers are racing for position. There is no tier rights, so to speak, here at Formula Racing League. They will be battling for every position on track. However, Campos and Gerbino are also battling for the Tier 2 championship, as Campos moves to the inside of Ravazza, shows his nose, in an attempt to make a mistake out of Gerbino. It might have worked. Gerbino puts his foot down on the exit, and then up through the gears, and this is what we're talking about. We're going to see the struggling straight line speed off that Lamborghini as Campos moves alongside. Now this is for P2 in class. Campos almost drives clean around him, but look at the brakes on that Lamborghini. He's able to brake so late. He does keep the fence, hugs the inside, and Campos drives clean around the outside. Fantastic move by the pink McLaren. Campos up into P2, Gerbino down into third place. This one's not over though. I always say it is a little bit easier to follow once you've got a car in front of you. You can see what they're doing, what their lines are. There's a prime example as Campos misses the apex. He's had Gerbino's help to find that apex for the last 4 or 5 laps. So now the question is, can Gerbino do to him what Campos has done? So Ribes and Tulloch, I'm sure these two came together earlier on in the race. We're 10 minutes out from the checkered flag. The rain's now forecasting 10 minutes. Is the rain going to come? Who knows, as some track liberties are certainly taken by the Ferrari there. The Mustang, big cumbersome bonnet. I must say I do like the paint job on the front of Tulloch's Mustang this evening. It does strike the eye of the camera very nicely, but he doesn't look to be all that comfortable through that chicane. So spiciness here at the front. Carl Sween still leads the race. There he is, our leader from lap 1. Clayton sets the fastest lap and runs in P2, 12 seconds behind with Bonham. Bonham's made a mistake. No, he's not. Oh, that's Jack Prentice. I thought that was Zukowicz in front of him. It's not, it's Prentice. Heart and mouth moment there. I thought I'd missed some prime action. A little bit further back, well, look at this. Zukowicz. Oh, it's taken Harvey. Well, we've seen that one, but it was Prentice. But look how wide Harvey's went there. That's going to be bringing and raising an eye to the stewards. Now the question is, can it look down the inside? I'm so sorry for making that pun. Now here comes the rain. Here it is, guys. The rain has started. It's going to get heavier and heavier. We are 8 minutes out from the checkers flag, and it is about to get spicy as Carl Sween has just went past the pit lane. Does Clayton jump in? No, he doesn't. So Bonham is now next. Does Bonham think about a pit stop? I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jack Prentice dive in here. No, he doesn't. They're all staying out. They all think they can keep it going. 8 minutes remain. So Harvey and Luke Prentice now coming down. But you can see even with the slipstream, that Aston Martin just flies. But look how late he is on the brakes. Nearly runs into the back of Harvey. And now can Wazzer in the Bentley do anything about this? Can he get that big cumbersome front end alongside? No, not on this occasion. Luke keeps that position, at least in the meantime. The rain really coming down now. 7 minutes left. What an absolute thrilling end, as we got the lap cars still getting involved as Jack Prentice moves out of the way. Excuse me. Now into Ackerman and Rally. This is not where you want to catch the lap traffic as Jack Prentice moves off the track for his brother and Jay Wazzer as they come round there. Garcia's now all in the back of Keller. We'll maybe visit that one in a second. But it's still getting very wet here. It's now greasy. Will Sween think about it? No, he's going to stay out at least just now. Clayton, will he stay out as well? Who knows? Bonham and Sween. Sorry, Bonham and Zukowicz now nose to tail almost as they come round with that. So 1 and 2. And Bonham's got a superior exit as they join on the straight. And again, no one electing to gamble. Well, I mean, King's leading class. I'd be surprised if he jumped in as he puts on a huge bit of oversteer. He just must have known the camera was on him for that corner. He pulls on a full four-wheel drift. Can't speak. A full four-wheel drift around the final corner there. So further back here, we've got Keller and Guzman Garcia now coming out the final corner. Do these guys think about a move? Everyone staying out. is the message. Stay out is the message from the pit lane. There's Ribes and Tulloch still fighting hard. Now this one, the Ferrari and the Mustang are separated by a much smaller gap than I have seen them so far. Let's look at the straight line speed difference. The Mustang tries to throw it down the inside. Can it be done? No, he still holds position just now. Apprentice now beginning to slowly catch the back of that Aston Martin. It's not over yet. We've got 5 minutes left as he outbrakes himself through the chicane. Now, did he gain a lasting advantage there? That question will absolutely be asked. But do look a little bit further ahead. Because here come Bonham and Zukowicz. And Bonham just looks to have a much better turn through there. And Sharp's now closing in on the back of these guys now as well. Ribes and Tulloch still looking to be battling tough there at the back. Nothing happening just yet. Clayton absolutely will have the fastest lap of the race. That is for sure, but what will happen with these guys as they come out of the second chicane down the hill to war under the silly banner? The Mustang's too far back. These guys are looking a lot closer. It's Bonham and Zukowicz side by side on the exit of Toza. My apologies, I keep coughing into the microphone. I'll do my best to stop that, but I can't be helped unfortunately as fluid enters my lungs as fast as the fluid on the track. We're now getting heavier rainfall. It's causing more and more mistakes. Absolute precision being demanded of by the conditions. And now Luke Prentice has joined this battle for P2. Yellow flags out. Car 93 and 65 in the wars one more time as Bonham cuts across that chicane. Now, did he fail to lose a place? Did he gain an advantage? Again, the stewards can ask the question. Bonham is going to potentially take that inside line but not overly commit to it. He's going to force Zukowicz on the grass. It's only going to end in tears as Zukowicz ends up spinning almost, keeping it out of the wall. Thankfully, Bonham. It's definitely some hard racing there for sure. But this now opens the door again for Prentice as Zukowicz has fallen way down the order. Prentice all over the back of that Ferrari. He takes to the wet on the inside. It's wet on both parts of the track now. And they both manage to just get through there as Bonham holds off from Sharp and Zukowicz has fallen down to P8. It's not over yet because look at this, they're still battling, no pun intended of course. But Bonham's missed the apex again, he takes to the inside. Now that's an attempt to keep position, that looked like. We'll wait to see what the stewards have to say about that one. But he's ran over the apex, cut the corner and failed to lose a place as a result of doing so. So the stewards, I'm sure, will have a look at that. Gerbino has just ran wide on the way out of turn 1 and lost a place to Vo. I think he was maybe attacking Vo there actually, my apologies. Bonham definitely looks like he's beginning to struggle now as the rain really begins to come down. The track is officially wet. These guys potentially on the dry tyre. There's no way for us to confirm as Prentice maybe thinks about a move down the inside, not on this occasion. You do have to wonder if maybe these guys have got different tyres on, different pressures, different setups even. As Prentice has struggled in the dry and just came into his own the last couple of minutes, and Bonham's the absolute opposite. As nobody is elected to take the pits, but here Bonham has run wide. Bonham is off track and rejoins with contact. And more contact there. It's Bonham. Oh no! That's a massive contact. Bonham looked out of control. Coming out of the final corner into the side of Harvey. Pit window has now closed. Everyone has completed their pit stops, thankfully. But that's both Bonham and Zukowicz in the wars. Both green machines struggle there, has caused damage to other drivers. We'll wait to see how the stewards view that one, but it's resulted in Carl Sween still out in front as he comes round the 505 Games corner. Sideways, struggling for a grip. He's got an 8-second gap. He's going to utilise every second off that one. Now Zukowicz has got himself up ahead of Harvey, but Waters now up into P4 as well, and Bonham still there. He's there or thereabouts. As Garcia loses the rear again. It's not over yet, because Zukowicz now all over the rear off Water. Now that Bentley does look to be a bit stiff this evening. Doesn't look to be its usual glued self as he gets defensive into the chicane. Now this is going to hold up these guys. Best get into the steward's office ready. Thank you, Luke Richards. That will absolutely not be doing that. And it's a win for Carl Sween as he takes the checkered flag, with Clayton closes the gap by about half in the final lap as Sween just brought the car home. Speaking of managing to bring the car home, Luke Prentice, great recovery drive, was P8 at one point, finishes in the podium. Congratulations. Jay Wazzer just has to hold off Zukowicz and Harvey for 4th, 5th and 6th. Bonham, we seen they're very unlucky in the dying embers of the race, takes 7th. Jack King comes home a very respectable P8 overall and 1st in class. And Gerbino, very successful first outing. He is in P9 and 2nd on the road. First outing as an FRL admin, takes the flag ahead of Vo, and Campos rounds out the podium for Tier 2. Keller, what a recovery from back off the grid to 4th in class. Congratulations for that one. Great drive from the Lamborghini driver as Garcia and Burrows race to the line. And Burrows just pips it by under a tenth of a second. Prentice is parked up at the edge of the track. Sharp, Ribes and Tulloch have failed to finish. I think we've still got a car actually, sorry, Ribes hasn't yet failed to finish. He's 3 laps down, but he's still out there. The track is properly wet now. If this rain had came 5 minutes earlier, we would absolutely be seeing cars jump into the pits. Cracking shot there actually from the camera angles. As Ribes now comes round the final corner, last driver on track. That track is sodden now, isn't it? It's absolutely soaked through. But here comes Ribes through to take the checker flag and collect his points towards his championship this season. Well, that was one hell of a race. I am glad I could be here for it and provide my voice as the soundtrack to the action this evening. I hope you have enjoyed this very special edition of Late Night Thursday. Congratulations. We're going to just wait for the server to update itself, and then we can go through the finishing order for you. But while that happens, I will just quickly let you know that in the next couple of days, Formula Racing League for console will be announcing their next season calendar. That is the championships for starting in January. It starts off with January 12th, Super Sprint Sunday, with then it will be January the 14th, Taco Tuesday, and then a very different approach to Late Night Thursday. We have a multi-class racing event championship with the GT4 cars and the BMW M2. Very exciting championship indeed. with that multi-class action. Now, right now, Formula Racing League Patreon supporters do have access to sign up and reserve their race numbers for those series as it stands. Now, those guys pay at least £3 per month. That's a very small price. Think about it. That's less than your less than a medium. Excuse me, my voice is going. That is less than the price of an overpriced Northwest United States coffee. I won't mention any brand names. This is £3, guys, and for that you get your own live stream shared to Formula Racing League's 3,400 plus members on Discord, such as this one. You'll be appearing alongside the commentary and broadcasts. You will also get to reserve your driver number and get priority sign up to all of Formula Racing League's events, and that's happening just now. If you think about it, £3 a month, it's really not that much, considering the amount of work that everyone does to keep the wheels moving in this league. So quickly run down the order then. That is Carl Sween that takes the win by 7 seconds from Josh Clayton, who takes the point for the fastest lap this evening. Luke Prentice, great recovery drive into third with Jay Wazzer fourth, just holds off Zukowicz in the dying embers of that race. Harvey is in P6. We've seen him running as high as second at one point, but the conditions just didn't fall his way as the race grew on. We've seen Bonham there in the wars at the end. We'll see what happens with that one. He finished P7. Jack King takes an 8th place in a class win, with Gerbino just behind him. I say just behind, 15 seconds behind, but takes 2nd place in class. And Vole rounds out the top 10 this evening. Campos in 11th with Keller in 12th. Congratulations to Campos for that class podium, and Keller as well for that recovery drive from the rear of the field. Burrows finishes P13 and Guzman Garcia in P14, the highest Porsche this evening. How Porsche have fell. Mustangs as well don't look particularly quick here at Imola, as Francis and Prentice finish 15th and 16th. Sharp in finish P17. I was still looking at that, thank you very much.
Green light, go, go, go.
Sharp finishes P17. Not a good result from him, respectively, compared to what we know he can do. Ribes 18th, Tulloch 19th, Hanley 20th, and Llewellyn 21st. Did not finishes there for Hanley and Llewellyn. They will not be classified. So thank you very much for joining me this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring this to you tonight. Please again do join us. We're back on Sunday evening, 7:45 PM for Super Sprint Sunday here at Imola as well. Until then, good night. Take care.